take that, you want to take it back.
Didn't you take it?
I don't take service on his behalf. I would be glad to give it to him. I'm not taking the service.
No,
Okay, that one is.
Who was
So we're
that?
the ones from last year.
He's not here this evening. Okay.
Do I have time to go
2
back?
minutes.
Sure. Oh, good.
Same page.
2 more minutes.
Yes, that's right. Yes, thank you so much.
What speech?
He accepted his award today from the Pete Garcia Victoria Foundation.
Oh, nice.
Foundation. I took a picture. And he took his mom and dad and he brought them up. And as he was talking, look at his, I know, I have it too. I mean, first, like, talking about them as his first teachers and their history and their story. It was a tearjerker.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a good one.
Thank you all for waiting. We'll start in just a couple minutes. We had a couple board members need a quick break.
Here's Jess, let me what he made for dinner.
Are you guys ready?
Looks good. Yeah.
Okay, calling to order the regular board meeting, April 10th, 2024. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, I just want to thank everybody for waiting and apologize for our tardiness. We have study sessions that start at 5 o'clock, so before our meetings, and this one obviously ran a little bit long because there was a lot of discussion, but they are open to the public. So if you're here early and we're still in a study session, you're welcome to come in and join us and hear what we're talking about and what we're learning about. Okay. 3.1 on the agenda is Agua Fria High School project with the City of Avondale.
Good evening, President DeCoste, members of the Governing Board, Superintendent Islas, and the Agua Fria community. I am going to ask the proud principal of Agua Fria High School up. If you know anything about Autumn Daniels, she has a tremendous amount of energy around her school and pride in what they do as far as connecting with the community. And so I'm going to have her come up and really talk about some of the great things that they're doing right now.
Thank you. Good evening, President DeCoste, members of the board, Superintendent Islas, outstanding cabinet, and members of the community. Thank you for having me tonight. As you know, I'm Principal Autumn Daniels from Agua Fria High School. I'm so excited to share with you a wonderful opportunity and partnership that we have gained with the City of Avondale. Our students have had the unique privilege to be able to design the Gateway Monument sign in collaboration with the City of Avondale as well as Smith Craft Signage. This journey began with our very own OWL art students. They both designed and sketched and did a ton of research with their vision of what defines the Avondale community. They researched the history of Avondale, looked at various materials. They spent hours collaborating during RTI. They took field trips to different monuments for inspiration, and we even had the opportunity to collaborate with Smith Craft Signage to get inspiration. Ultimately, they've gained real-world experience and that hands-on learning that we want all students to have in this type of process, from dimensions to color scheme to cost breakdown, durability of materials. They've been engaged and challenged, critically thinking and becoming problem solvers through this journey. I would like to say thank you to Rick Carr, who is here tonight. He's going to come up in just a minute. And he's with the City of Avondale. And Brandon McMillan from Smith Craft Signage is right next to him as well. Thank you for your support, your enthusiasm, as well as your collaboration and your guidance through this journey. Has been amazing. It's been special to see the finalization of the signage, and for students to eventually, when it goes up soon, to say, I created that, and have their name on the nameplate, which will be so cool. Shout out to our art teacher, Carla Mora. She's also here this evening, our exceptional art teacher who's facilitated and led this project with passion and pride in her work, helping with the students. Ali Rai, who is here this evening, our community and parent liaison, for helping coordinating and facilitating the meetings, organizing the student trips, and has been instrumental in communication, follow through, and a huge support. And most importantly, our outstanding owls for their hard work, and the students for their talents and dedication to the project. So I'm going to give the floor over to Rick and Brandon next, and they're going to walk you through the presentation to give you some visuals of the really cool journey. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Autumn. President DaCosta, members of the board, administrative staff for the district, and of course the Agua Fria community as well. I'm glad to be here tonight. Again, my name is Rick. I'm with the City of Avondale. I work in our engineering department. I lead our CIP division, and one of our projects is a new monument sign at the location we'll show you. So if we could advance to the first slide, please. So some background on the project. Our new city manager, Ron Corbin, previously worked at several cities, in fact the city of Yuma, and had done a joint project with their local high school. So sort of the inspiration for the project. Of course, he reached out to the Agua Fria High School District, and a connection was made, and we started working with the students on the project at the beginning of this school year. Next slide, please. So the project site is at Dysart Road and Buckeye Road. It is that northeast corner there. We have an existing sign right now that we are going to demolish and replace with this new sign. It's a critical location in the city of Avondale. It's a main entry point to our Old Town Avondale area, and so we're looking for an opportunity to have some great inspiration there from the students for that design at that location. Next slide, please. So I first made contact with Ali, who introduced me to Autumn and Carla and the rest of the students. So this is a list of the group that we've been meeting with every month, once a month, and going through and helping the students kind of follow us as we design and construct the project, and all the aspects that we have to deal with, like budget and permits, so they get a real sort of shadow experience of what it would take to do a project like this. So, next slide, please. Sorry, it's a little faint on the screen, but that is the initial sketch that the students provided to us. It is an open wagon with some components, some milk jugs and flowers, and there's a road runner involved, and then their words and inspirations that they came up with that concept. We were really pleased to have something for that. Again, it is in our Old Town area of Avondale, and they reflected on the start of the town with the railroad coach stop and the Billy Moore station, and kind of focused in on what transportation was at that time, and that's how they came up with the wagon concept. So we thought that was a good fitting for that location. Next slide, please. So then we started looking at, okay, we've got your inspiration. What is our examples in close by that we can take a look at of a monument sign? So how we can make that wagon into a monument sign. So we looked at our adjacent cities for some of their entry monument signs, as well as just some local artwork here along Van Buren for some ideas that might help them develop the concept further. Next slide, please. Then we took them over to Brandon's shop, the Smith Craft signage shop, fabrication shop, so they got to see really the whole process. They met with one of their design team, actually a couple of design team, how they draw and design a sign, the scale of the sign, the words on the sign, and then how they're fabricated in the back of the shop, and get an idea of scale of signs. You can see in that upper right picture, that is the Phoenix Children's Hospital's heart symbol that Smith Craft is working on. So it's going to go on top of a building, so it's going to be pretty big scale in order to be seen, so they get an idea of that. So we had a great time there with the tour. Next slide, please. So we took the wagon and we kind of worked from some of those ideas we'd seen in the local neighborhood of what the monument sign could be, and looked at sort of a steel profile of the wagon in different situations. And then what we always like to do with signage, because it's very tactile, it's very particular, you need to make sure you get the right scale of letters and the height of the sign. We had Brandon basically put it on some plywood and mock up full scale what it would look like out there where the existing sign was, and then it gave us some takeaways from that visit, probably making the sign taller, but we don't want the wagon to get too big because then it looks a little bit overpowering. With that corner, we also want to try and make the sign visible from two perspectives as people are driving on Buckeye as well as on Dysart. So with that information, next slide, please. We worked back again with the Smith Craft team. And again, this is kind of the design process that we go through as designers. You get some ideas and you try them out, and then you modify them and keep, you can still keep the same theme and idea, but you just have to sort of what we call transform your design to a more realistic concept. So we looked at these three possible options. Of course, we were also coordinating with our own city management, showing them the progress and the design of the sign. And so even though we kind of looked at a covered wagon versus an open wagon, we still thought the open wagon was the best inspiration and connected really to the students' original concept. So that upper right image is this design we plan to go with. Next slide. And then we need to landscape that corner as well. That's part of the project scope. So we have a landscape architect on board who's been meeting with the students as well, talking about how you design the landscape. To make sure the sign is still visible. You can put plants in the ground, but they're going to grow, so you got to make sure they're visible. It is a corner of a traffic signal there, and so we got to look at our traffic engineering to make sure we maintain visibility. So we reviewed that with our traffic engineer. And then, of course, where we can get away from the sign and still make it visible, give it some signature landscape with the cactus, the barrel cactus, saguaro. And so this is an image that our landscape architect prepared of what it will look in reality. So next slide, please. So our next steps at this point, we're actually in the middle of permitting. We need to get permitting through ourselves to construct the sign, make sure it's structurally sound when we put it up. And then we're getting some landscape costs. I actually received those today. One of the things we talked about with the students was the budget of the project and all the different components you have to pay for, the design, the landscape, the sign itself. So they got an understanding of how we work within that budget. Then we'll be, once we get the permits, I've also got Brandon, his contract, so he's working on the sign. It's in fabrication in his shop right now. Once that's ready to go, we have the permits for landscape. We'll get out on site and actually start the construction, where we've talked with Autumn and have an opportunity where the students could help in a safe manner, maybe with some of the planting of the trees and the landscape. And then we're also working on a joint maintenance agreement. Autumn has brought that to us, as well as being able to maintain the sign together between our traffic staff and district staff. And then our proposed completion is summer of '24. So we hope to have probably a little bit of a ceremony and invite you all to come to that when we're ready to I guess, officially give it its grand opening. So, next slide, please. And then we have some quotes here for the student experience. Autumn, did Carla want to
share that piece?
bench? So we have some great quotes here from some of the students that were involved.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, share a little bit. First of all, I'd like to thank Rick and Brandon and Janet and everyone else who helped with the project for providing their amazing experience and support and time to our Agua Fria students to get hands-on experience. Thank you. I want to take a moment to recognize some of the amazing young men and women right here in our community. These high school students have been working hard, not just on their studies, but on something that will benefit us all. Our Agua Fria students are designing and creating a brand new sign for our city. They're pouring their creativity and talents into this project, and it's sure to become a landmark we can all be proud of. This isn't just about a sign, though. It's about these students taking ownership in our city. They're showing their pride and leaving their mark. They're a reminder that the future of our community is bright and it's in good hands. They have also had a chance to make some connections with their peers and members of the community, gaining experiences that not many high school students get the chance to be a part of. So let's give a big round of applause to these future leaders, and let's keep an eye out for the fantastic new signs that they're creating. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you could go back one more slide to the prior slide. One more. We'll also put the students' names and, of course, Agua Fria High School staff that were involved in the project, and a little plaque on the back side of that sign, so that'll be there for the life of the sign. So you can go to the last slide, please. Yeah. Take any questions that Mr. President or the board or anybody may have.
I just want to thank you for partnering with Agua Fria and providing the opportunity for the students to have all of those experiences, from the engineering to the art design to the sign building, permitting. There's so much involved, and they really learned a lot of things I'm sure that they wouldn't have just learned in the classroom. So thank you for the partnership.
You're welcome. Yeah, we enjoy the partnership.
And we're looking forward to the ceremony.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Okay, item 3.2, Verado High School film and TV project.
Yes, we are going to show a short video first, and then after that I'll introduce Principal Thomas, and he'll talk about the wonderful things that his students are doing at Verado High School.
Sound.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. In February, senior Michael Myers was recognized for his acting debut in the student short film, Project 182.
It's really exciting, and I mean, it was a really good story, and I was super excited to be one of the leads for any film in general. It was my first film to be on.
Inspired by then high school senior Ben Dirksen, the film tells a wild story of a high schooler who creates a friend out of a robot named Axel.
I get a lot of my inspiration from my actually from different songs and music. So the song "I Want to Be Like You" from Jungle Book is actually what inspired me initially to make this film.
Ben wrote, produced, and edited the film, and with the help of other students, they got all the filming done in just 3 weeks.
There were days where it would just drag on and on into the night, and sometimes it would be outside, so it would be super cold because it was November. But I mean, I loved every second of it, honestly. It was really cool to see it like together, because it starts off as just a thought in your head, and to think that it's actually something physical and tangible that you can see and experience is really cool.
The film was submitted for the 2023 Student Production Awards, taking home 4 regional awards and 1 nationally.
For this production to come through all the way our jury process to become not only a nominee, but a recipient in so many categories, and then go all the way to the national level, for them to do that and receive this accolade is huge.
Not only is it a big win for the students, but for their teacher too.
It's very surreal. It's a cool moment in the lives of seeing students get recognized for the awesome work and achievements that they do.
And inspires those like Ben and Michael to always reach for the stars.
Well, I want this to be like my future. I want to pursue acting as a career.
Oh, great start right there. And they've won regional awards before, but this is the first national one?
Yes, so they have won 19 regional awards, but this was their very first national, and for their teacher, that was a huge deal. He's taught for 19 years at Verado High School, and he's retiring actually, so he's going out with a bang with the national, so it is just really exciting.
So I want to, yeah, give a hand clap for that. Do a couple things. First, a point of clarification on that last part. Mr. Walker is not retiring. He is moving to the district office as our CTE coordinator. So he's not leaving us. Okay, so I first and foremost want to say that. But secondly, this is a great example of how our CTE students are transforming what they're doing, and as a part of this academy transformation, you'll see more examples of this type of work that's going to happen in our schools. So I want to introduce or bring up Principal Thomas. He's going to introduce the students and really talk about just the amazing work that you just got to view.
Good evening, President DeCoste, Board, Mr. Isas, and the Agua Fria community. I don't want to say too much. I think I talk a lot, so I'm going to keep this simple and to the point. One, my favorite part of that video, kids, I apologize, but when they said Mr. Walker was retiring, it made me laugh. Just that said, really cool to see that type of production quality. And what was fun for me was to be able to see the kids doing the work. And one of the things that Mr. Walker does, and I'm going to turn it over to him in just a second, but I refer to him as coach. I have a hard time not saying coach, right? And like he coaches, he teaches, he's a professional, and he empowers the kids to take ownership. When you talk about leadership, it's building leadership capacity in others. And if you go into a space and you see the way the kids own what they do, it's really powerful. So I want to bring up Mike and Ava and Rio and Ezra and Michael. If you all could come up, please. And I was going to turn it over to Mike for a few words and go from there.
I'll sneak up there first.
Thank you, everyone, for letting us share the fantastic news. Just a couple of things for context. Although they said in the clip it took 3 weeks of filming, it was 3 weeks of filming, but the students worked about 8 months on that entire production, from coming up with initial story to the versions of the scripts to planning it out, and then, of course, all of the editing. So it was a massive amount of time that went in that. These aren't all the students that were involved with it. Several have graduated. Happy to say I think all of them have gone on to do something relating to film and video, which is pretty cool as well. But the film definitely exemplifies what we do, not only in career and technical education everywhere, but certainly in our capstone courses. And I think what you'll see is it really exemplifies that portrait of a graduate that we're looking for as a district. I mean, they collaborated, they communicated, they innovated, they created something, as a team that they're happy with and shared it with others. And it was really awesome to see them win something. And like you said, you know, when Mr. Huffman hired me 9 years ago at Verado, one of the things we joked about was, you know, setting some goals and stuff. I'm like, I will get the first Emmy. You know, the kids, the facility, the things in place could make that happen. And here we go, 9 years later, 19 regional Emmys, 1 national one now. And we still have the fantastic stuff that they've created this year. So they're certainly sending me out of the classroom with lots of things to celebrate. So that was pretty cool. So yes, definitely not retiring. Just being able to share my wisdom and knowledge with a much wider audience, which I'm looking forward to. So that'll be awesome. So with that, this is Ava. She's a sophomore this year, so as a freshman, she worked on the film. She was the assistant director to Ben, who wrote, directed, and edited it. This is Rio Brown. She is a senior this year. As a junior, she was the art director on it. So all the props and pieces and sets and stuff, she did all that for the whole film. Of course, Ezra, which is our supporting actor who builds the robot, and of course, Mike, who actually won the Emmy for his portray of the robot. And both of these guys are juniors this year, so they were sophomores in that film when they acted it. So, and we got these guys from the theater department. These two are film students. Everyone else that was on the movie was film students, so we branched out. We did get a graphic design kid also that also is in stagecraft that took care of all the costumes for the piece. And then a band student, if you had a chance to watch the movie that's on YouTube, he actually wrote and composed all of the music in the film was also created by students. So it was very collaborative, even outside of the film program, which I think was quite magical.
Yeah.
So, thank you. And
Do you guys want to say anything? You
Intimidating.
said it all. It's all in the
You stand in front of them, we'll stand up where they're at. So we come this way.
Yes. Well,
Sounds good.
do a photo.
yep.
Hey, can we bring me in the
Yes.
part of that too?
Yeah.
I think Mr. Showman needs to be here. You don't know it, but he actually had a part in the movie.
We're gonna have to find that.
He was the
You want to go on that side, Nate,
science fair
actually?
judge.
Yeah. And then Kevin, if you can come in just a little bit. All right, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Great work, guys.
Congratulations, Ava, Rio, Ezra, Michael, and everyone else involved. And good luck, Mr. Walker, on your new role. And you guys have a great foundation. We look forward to future productions.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, Lex, I'm taking off my glasses.
Great, we're good. Thank you.
I'd like to add a comment to the students. Congratulations to you and to Mr. Walker. You set the bar really high, and I see kids out filming in the community, and you really are inspiring and motivating them because they want to follow in your footsteps. I can see a parent making this wooden wheel thing that attaches to a camera, and they're like, we're going to nationals and we're going to win like them. So congratulations, you're doing so much more than just winning and experiences. You're influencing the next generation of kids, believe it or not. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Landis. Anyone else? Awesome. Moving on to 4.1, request to address the governing board, and we have none tonight, so we will move on to 5.1, consideration of approval of the minutes from March 6th.
Be it resolved, the governing board approves the minutes from March 6, 24 study session and regular board meeting as presented.
I'll second.
Carrie, yes?
Landis, yes?
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. 6.1, proposed change to board meeting date. We have some things that need to be finalized at the beginning of May, so Mr. Huffman primarily and Mr. Eastlis are asking that we move the governing board meeting from May 1st to May 14th.
Be it resolved, the governing board approved moving the regularly scheduled meeting from May 1st, 24 to May 14th, 24.
I'll second.
Terry, yes.
Landis, yes.
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. 6.2, consideration of approval of Agua Fria High School Phase 3 remodel architectural agreement with DLR.
Thank you. Good evening, President DeCoste, members of the board, Superintendent Eastless, and members of our community. As you all know, we've been engaged in a pretty extensive remodeling of Agua Fria High School, and we're ready to move on to the next part of that. As part of that, we need to make sure that we have our architectural services in place. The agreement in front of you tonight is with DLR Group. We anticipate this part of the remodeling to be a total project cost of about $20 million. Thank you to our voters for approving the November 2023 bond and making all that possible. With construction costs of about $15 million. We wrote the initial contract conservatively for a $10 million value. It will automatically adjust based upon the GMP when we bring that to you, and it is in place at 5.75%. I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
I don't think we have any questions, but thank you for getting right on those projects. It's so exciting, especially to watch Agua Fria keep receiving these transformations and get updated. Such a beautiful campus. Do we have a motion?
Be it resolved, the governing board approves the architectural agreement for Agua Fria High School Phase 3 remodel with DLR Group Architects.
I'll second.
Terry, yes.
Landis, yes.
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. On to 6.3, approval of district-wide track repairs / replacement with Hellas Construction.
Thank you again, President DeCoste. We're able to move quickly on this project largely because of, one, the approval of the bond measure last November, but number two, because we've been working on a lot of this in preparation for High School 6 as well. We've recently brought 2 track firms out to take a look at all of our tracks in the district. And they're in varying conditions. This agenda item does a few things. They don't need much because it's our newest school. Canyon View, it basically cleans up the track and restripes it. Agua Fria, it resurfaces. It actually adds a new layer of surface on the top, and it totally changes the configuration of the field events to make it more modern and to bring it up to standards. Desert Edge is the track that's in the worst shape in the district because the underneath part of the track, the asphalt under the track, is cracking. So no matter what we do to the track, because it's cracking underneath, the track is going to crack. So it is being totally removed and replaced, as well as the underlayment, the underlying asphalt layer. Millennium High School, interestingly enough, in a lot of ways, feels like it's our softest, fluffiest track, but it actually has become too thick. It has too many layers on it, and the last layer that was put on it in 2020 has actually damaged the track by it is too thick now. So we're just going to scrape that track off and put a new track surface down. We're also looking at some requests at Millennium that we'll take care of to move the long jump, which is kind of out in a far field, and bring it back into the track area as well. So we'll do some reconfiguring there as well. And then finally at Verado, they just need another layer sprayed on the top of their track. So there's varying needs at each of our tracks, and we want to address them all at this time.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
Be resolved, the governing board approves the district-wide track repairs and replacement with Hellas Construction.
I second.
Terry, yes.
Landis, yes.
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. 6.4, consideration of approval of district-wide stadium field turf replacement by wholesale floors.
Thank you again, President DeCoste. We want to, while we're doing the tracks, now's the right time to get the fields done as well. If we're going to tear it up, let's just get it all done at once. We are able to start this project of the tracks and the fields, if approved, on May the 10th, which is the first day of the state track meet. Because of that, the schools won't be needing their fields as much at that point, and that all 5 schools can have the track repairs done as well as the fields installed prior to the start of the fall season.
I do have a quick question on that. The final mock-ups are not final proofs, are they?
No, there's still a couple more steps there.
Okay.
Making sure the spelling is correct. There's not official fonts yet. The mock-up that you've seen on Canyon View doesn't have the logo that they want to use, so there's a few final steps there. We also believe that there's a few value engineering steps that we can take to bring the price down slightly, so what you're approving tonight is a maximum price.
Thank you. When will we see the final mock-ups?
We're meeting with the company tomorrow pending approval tonight, so I would think within the next week you should probably see the mock-ups.
Thank you.
And these will be done by August?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Be it resolved, the governing board approve the district-wide stadium field turf replacement by wholesale floors.
Second. Terry, yes.
Landis, yes?
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. Before we move on to the consent agenda, I just want to thank you, Mr. Huffman, and point out to our staff and our community that we have many bond activities going on. Thank you for the approval from the 23 bond in November. Besides, we have Agua Fria High School, we have the tracks, we have the turf, we have some things at Desert Edge, and for the academies. So I encourage you to look through the agenda and see all the exciting things that are going on thanks to the support from our community in passing our bond. We appreciate it. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Does anybody have questions or items that they would like to discuss? Or
I will have a couple questions on 7.20 and 7.21.
I have 7.20 as well.
do you want to discuss those first and then approve? We're not polling, we're just asking questions.
I believe so.
Okay.
Hold on, Kristen.
So the district pool, which is at the YMCA, we have an agreement with them. But that agreement, I'm assuming we cover all the costs of repair, but yet we kind of have like 25% of the use.
Yeah, so just briefly, thank you, Ms. Acton. The agreement is set up so that we pay for the capital repairs. The YMCA pays for the operating costs and repairs under $5,000. The city of Goodyear, their part of the partnership is that they pick up the operating loss above a certain number. So every year they're picking up well into six figures each and every year. So we have not put significant, we've done things like replace diving boards and pumps occasionally. This, in the 20 years that the pool has been there, or close to 20 years, is the largest sum of money that we've put into it. The YMCA and the City of Goodyear have, especially in recent years, have been excellent partners as far as our usage goes compared to in the past, and they have also agreed to work with us on maybe taking a look at our agreement that we have with them and making some tweaks and changes in that going forward.
Okay. I just wanted to be reminded of the agreement and who was doing what, so thank you. 20 years is a long time to not put work into your pool.
Yes.
Especially one that's used as much as that one.
Yes.
And I just want to take this time to advocate to ensure that our swimmers get the best practice time. That's a lot of money to invest, and we're not there all the time. And I think we should get first choice in swim. And I know everybody says we get first choice in swim, but I don't think 5 a.m. is first choice in swim. But I would just like to advocate for that.
Thank you. Ms. Gressett's here also, and she works with them on the scheduling as well, and we'll make sure we get that taken care of.
Thank you. Nothing else? Okay, do we have a motion to approve? Do you have more? Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're fine. I don't need to ask a question, but just 7.7 about the impact grant. Ms. Jones, I just want to thank you for bringing that to our district and sharing that with us at our last study session. I just think this is a great opportunity for the employees in our district. So just wanted to acknowledge that and thank you.
Okay, be it resolved, the governing board approves the items on the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Terry, yes.
Landis, yes?
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. Moving on to 8.1, comments or information from our award-winning superintendent, Mr. Eastless.
President DeCoste, members of the board, I do want to, before I head on to my portion With your action on the consent agenda, you just approved another leader in our district, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Nall.
So I guess I have to do this. Not all the way happy with this, but it's okay. We're really excited for the growth in our district. And previously we had the opportunity where you approved Mr. Jason Lynn as the planning principal for High School 6. I'm going to introduce or bring up Principal Lynn so he can talk about the new staff member to his team, because he's by himself right now. So, but no longer, and we thank you for your vote tonight. So he's going to go ahead and introduce his new staff, his new team member that he stole from me.
Thank you, Mr. Nall, and good evening, President DeCoste, members of the board, Superintendent Eastless, and Agua Fria community. It's been a very lonely road, and I'm sure some of these guys are probably like, good, he's got somebody to talk to now, so plug them in their office. So, no, I'm very thrilled to have this member part of our team at High School 6. She's going to do great for us. You surround people that are smart. Surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, and I think I hit the home run on this one. So, Michaela Butterfield, come on up here, please. So Michaela's been working in the district office here with the academics team. She's been an integral part of our mastery learning implementation. She has our district's academics down pat, and I couldn't be happier and more thrilled to work with Michaela. I'm super excited, couldn't ask for a better sidekick and partner. So congratulations and welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Governing Board President DeCoste, members of the board, Superintendent Eastlas, members of the Agua Fria community, and members of our future school community. I'm just really excited. I've had an opportunity to have some really great mentors, many of who are sitting in this room, so I appreciate their support and want to give a shout out to my family too, because there's some late nights in our future, and, and I appreciate them as well. So we're just really excited, and I want to thank you for the opportunity as well.
Absolutely.
We're excited for you.
Yes, very much.
Okay, I'm not going to let you get away with this. So this morning, Superintendent Eastless was recognized with the Excellence in Education Award by the Pete C. Garcia Victoria Foundation. It was at the Helios Education Center this morning, and I just wanted to say it was a really amazing event. And when you look at his bio and all the things that he's done, and then what he's done in our district and what he will continue to do, I feel like we're very privileged to have your commitment and your foresight and your leadership in our districts. I want to thank you for all that you do and congratulate you one more time. And I know you don't like the fanfare, but you deserve it. So if we could just have a round of applause for Mr.
All right, my turn?
Your turn.
Thank you. We have some exciting things going on in our district. As you know, you can see our principals back there working very hard for our schools, and there's just so many things that are going to be happening in this last month, right? We have programs, we have concerts, we have ceremonies, we have graduations, we have so many things that are going to be happening. So I just want to announce a couple of things that we have done, some things that we should be very proud of, some things that are coming up. I think the prom, are the proms done? Or
Are the proms done?
Let's get through the prom. Hopefully that happens. But at Agua Fria High School, they recently had their Boot and Hustle 5K with the city of Avondale, and that was an awesome event there. We also last night at Agua Fria High School had a ceremonial baseball game, a salute to service, where they recognized 5 servicemen and women and had a flyover, and I even got to throw out the first pitch as Autumn was my catcher. She did a really good job of catching my low fastball, so thank you. We also had ACT game kickoff this morning with prizes. Breakfast was donated, and the staff just to impress and cheered on the students before their big day of testing at Agua Fria. Our Health Occupation Students Association Film, Construction, and Early Childhood qualified for nationals. Go Owls. And they had a caregiver workshop for all schools hosted at Agua Fria. That'll be coming up on May 4th. So good job over there, Autumn. Desert Edge. Proud of the seniors who have earned Fine Arts Diploma seal. There's, as you know, Desert Edge is a leader in our arts in our schools. They are having a drug trends presentation on April 27th at DE for all district families. Thank you for informing all of our families about the dangers of drugs and all of that. The Desert Edge Future Business Leaders of America qualified for nationals. So congratulations to the staff on that. The FFA was a Superior Chapter Award winner, and I know the DE FFA and the Canyon View FFA will be at the fair this year because I'm going down there. I'll be there all day on Friday. It's so cool when you go back there and see all the animals and the little piggies that grew up in the big hogs. It's pretty cool. So I love being I'm part of the FFA culture, by the way, so I love doing that.
I can tell by your use of word piggy.
Nowadays, little piggies. Yeah. So, and this weekend, if you want to take a loved one or a date to something really cool, go check out Hairspray Musical this weekend at DE. At Canyon View, the girls took the gold in the 4x4 at the prestigious Arcadia Track Invitational. Good luck. I hope they win that state over there. Health Occupations Student Association last week, 14 qualified for nationals. That's pretty impressive over there at Canyon View. Future Business Leaders of America this week, 8 qualified for nationals, many more in top 10 with a chance to qualify still for nationals. And as I mentioned, the FFA won gold chapter completing at the state fair this week. So that's going to be fun for me to hang out with you. So, at Millennium, the Addams Family Musical tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. If you want to check out a great show, please go hang out with Nicole over there at that show. WGAZ Drumline Competition hosted at Millennium this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Oh, that's cool. I want to check that out. That's gonna be pretty cool. So, and the other thing is...
You can't do all this.
Yeah.
You can't do all of this.
I will do all this, but I tried to. Karen's got to set my schedule for that. So, but I just want to say thank you to Julie and Chief of Staff Rachel Gross. We have a leadership cadre in our district, and we provide leadership opportunities for people to, for us to recognize the talent in our district, give them opportunities to move up in our organization, and or to take a lateral move or do something else. But we're creating these opportunities with our homegrown people and our homegrown leaders. And Michaela, I think was
And Jason.
and Michaela and Jason were both part of that leadership cadre, and they're going to be in charge of building this awesome School 6. So just a tribute to all the great people in our school district that are being promoted and giving great opportunities. So congratulations, Michaela and Jason on that. So. And also, we had a very successful trip to Nashville with community leaders from Westmark, from the Southwest Valley Chamber, from the city of Goodyear, the city of Avondale, Center for Future of Arizona. There's a bunch of people coming to the table and working with us on the development of our workforce development academies. Megan Griego and her staff did an amazing job of getting some people to buy into the concept of our academies and to actually take the trip with us and go through a full 2-day training about how you build partnerships in the community and how we take our kids from our classroom and into those partnerships to develop those workforce opportunities. Mr. Nolan and Nate were also part of that group and that team as they're working on the academic piece and as Megan is working on the community piece. But it's just really it was a prideful, I know that Mr. Coast, Mr. Terry, Ms. Landis were there as well, but a lot of pride in looking at what we're about to build in our workforce development and how the community is really buying into what we're doing and how we're, in a lot of ways, leading that charge. So very proud of the work that Megan and Philip and Nate and everybody that's doing. So thank you, board members, for attending and being a part of that. That's all I have, Mr. Coast.
Thank you. Mr. Terry, do you want to start?
8.2 now?
Moving on to 8.2, thank you. Keep me in check.
No, I just wanted to make sure. No, I was told I needed to congratulate Mr. Eastless on winning an award. I just heard about it, so no, it's well deserved, well earned, and just wanted to say, my role the previous 2 years as board president, we had a very close working relationship. I appreciate everything you do, and you've set this district on course to achieve some tremendous things with the stuff we're building, from setting a new strategic plan under your leadership and implementing it now. And now it's just about making it happen. We know where we're going, we know where we want to go, and now it's just about making it happen. So I wanted to congratulate you on that. I also heard you bounced the ball about 2 times when you threw it to the plate.
Practice.
And then, as was mentioned, yes, I joined our delegation to Nashville along with many of our business and community leaders. Major focus when it came to our transition to our academic pathways. West MEC is highly recognized as one of the top workforce development public school districts in the entire country. However, they have a limited capacity to take students. So there are very few students of ours that have the ability to go through the coursework and just the things that they provide. And so that, going back to that vision that we've set over the last couple years as a board, our ability to provide CTE academic pathways to every student within our district is going to be a tremendous benefit and transformation, not only for our students, but our entire community. So from that trip to talking with students, talking with teachers, talking with local community leaders there in Nashville, we met with the mayor, met with the leaders of the Chamber of Commerce there, as well as academic leaders at individual school sites. And then taking that and those ideas and making them our own. Mr. Nallon, I know you and Mr. Shulman are working very exhaustingly, I guess is a word. If it's not a word, it should be. And that is much appreciated, and I look forward to everything that we're going to achieve with that. As was mentioned, we are setting the bar here in the state of Arizona. We are going to make things happen that no other district here is doing. So that is exciting. It's also, there's a heavy responsibility that comes with that. So I appreciate everything there. Speaking of West MEC, this last week I was in New Orleans. They had a presentation with at the National School Board Association. That breakout session on their CTE development and everything that's being done just with the workforce development was by far the most attended breakout session of the entire conference. Standing room only probably doesn't even come close to adequately describing it. So I was there with Dr. Scott Spurgeon, superintendent of West MEC, one of their board members, Robert Garcia, as well as CJ Williams, their director of community and business development. So that was a great event, as well as working on things. I know we've had discussions when it comes to just like discipline within our classrooms about phone-free classrooms, things like that. Various ways that we can go to ensure that our learning environments are the best learning environments possible. I know that's support not only for our staff, but making things helpful for our students. And then we just did the track and turf things. I spent some time there really talking about the safety aspect when it comes to our turf. I know I've heard from some folks. I've spoken with most, if not all, of our football coaches, some soccer coaches as well, when it comes to player safety on these turf fields. So I can just want to say publicly, that research was heavily done. Mr. Hutton, I know your staff was on that, and that was priority one for me, and I look forward to having a great environment for our student athletes to perform. One more, sorry, I know I'm filibustering here. I, along with Mr. Huffman and Mr. Butts from Millennium High School, we provided a campus tour with one of our state representatives that represents a portion of our district at Millennium, and we talked heavily on CTE and transportation funding when it comes to CTE and just our transition into the academy pathway. So I just want to mention that it's been a busy and exhausting last few weeks, if not the last 3 minutes that I just ran through. So thank you very much.
I feel like we should clap.
No, no.
I'm tired for you.
Yes.
Are you done?
I am done.
Okay, I'll be brief. Congratulations. Nashville was awesome. Best experience I've had as a board member, and I just want to give a shout out to Miss Hudson, who was Athletic Director of the Year, Canyon View. I sing her praises everywhere I go, and people will go, "Was your athletic director any good?" And I say she's great. Even from the time when the kids were young, she would schedule events during breaks, during spring breaks. And I know that sometimes people might not want to do that, but she does. She works long hours. I believe she's a single parent, and she invests so much time in the community and the kids, and she's my kid's favorite. So congratulations to Miss Hudson.
Didn't one of your children think she lived there at one point?
Yes, he thought she lived, yes.
Dedication. I'm very jealous. Everyone says Nashville was fantastic. Work. I hate having a job, you guys. Congratulations, Mr. Useless. We're very lucky to have you. Anyways, I could go on, but I won't because Trey said it all. Michaela, congratulations. Super excited for you. I've been about, I think I've been to every campus this spring for events except for one. Sorry, Autumn, I will get there. Spring is my favorite time with the dance shows, the concerts, the musicals. So looking forward to the next couple weeks, have them on my calendar. So see the students perform and do what they love and shine doing it. It's just so exciting. So looking forward to that.
Thank you. There's not much I can add to Nashville, except I will say it was one of the best learning experiences I've had as an educational professional and especially as a board member. But it was a 14-hour day. They start you at 7 in the morning. You start. It's not let's have breakfast. Like the day starts at 7 and the day ended at about 9 o'clock at night, I think. So it was a very rigorous schedule. It was amazing to tour the school, visit the academies, to talk to the students. You know, we all know that we have some really good programming. We have good CTE, we have good college-ready courses, and, you know, as a parent of 2 Verrado High School graduates, I had one fall into each category. One was needing college-ready, and the other one was needing workforce-ready. So I'm looking forward to us to be able to offer so many more opportunities and working that partnership with Westmec, being there and saying, we need you guys on board. We can't do this for all of the kids that need this. And so it was really reassuring, and it was amazing to sit in a room with 25 people from our community that are committed to workforce development. These are the people working in our cities, bringing businesses to our area, and now they can say, in the future, we have high schools that are preparing students to come back and be in your business and working for you. If you partner with us and you help mentor, come speak to the schools, provide all of these opportunities. I mean, it was just really awesome, and they paid their own way. They came along with us, they learned, they were dedicated and excited, and they're really going to be great partners. I was at the baseball game, nice first pitch, and beautiful tribute to our servicemen and women. I'm looking forward to graduation. That's my favorite part of all of this, and everything that we do is handing out diplomas to our students, and a lot of that is because I was a principal, so some of these kids I've known since they were in kindergarten, and it's the most heartwarming and exciting experience, and I love that day. And I just happened to be by here yesterday, so I want to thank Ms. Gressett, shout out for the fun stuff of having the committees for discipline, phones and dress codes. And I wanted to thank all of the teachers that came out for those committees to help make some decisions in that area. I think it's so important that they have their input, and so I'm glad that some teachers are dedicated to helping, you know, give input and make those changes. So that's all I have. And then that brings us to the end of the agenda, to 9.1. Actually, we're not quite there. 9.1, request for future agenda items.
I just wanted to point out that you put me down here so that I spoke first, and that's just a natural consequence of
Yes,
what happened.
yes. We have to hear you at some point.
But I have no requests.
Thank you.
I have none.
I said it in the work study, but just to say it again, I would love a presentation on all this information that we received on how we're using the bond dollars at our current facilities and the improvements that are being done, so that not just we get that, but our community gets that. They know what's happening. The students can see that it's coming, what's happening, and everybody can get excited about it. So just so that we all are on the same page with what's going on with the money.
Thank you. I have none. So 10.1.
Be it resolved, the governing board adjourn the regular board meeting on April 10th, 2024.
Second, Terry, yes.
Lance, yes.
Acton, yes.
DeCoste, yes. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
So aggressive.